and welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Unwanted, and this time we are looking at sniper rifles. So at the start of this run, this is how far I'd got, not very far at all. So the SV98, I'd mainly been using the L96A1 when I decided to snipe, but in this run, of course, I have to go through and unlock and use every gun, because I want to get at least some attachments for it, but I discovered that's not exactly how you should really do the sniper rifles. So I was quite happy when I unlocked the Jing 90, as that's one of the favourite guns in Battlefield 3, and I had no idea if it was the same as in Battlefield 3. Again, I didn't look up the stats of the snipers, I just used them. So one of the things I discovered during this week or so of pretty much just using snipers is that you've got to rely on your pistol and your grenades and your gadgets. It's probably the class that uses these things the most, and it's kind of fun at times, but it's kind of frustrating if, like me, when you go around a corner and you're carrying a rifle and you see somebody up close and you're all fingers and thumbs trying to get your pistol out. So I tended to work the opposite way in close quarters maps. I ran around with the pistol and then pulled out the rifle when I needed to. So C4, claymores, spotting gadgets, they're all your friend for the recon class, and I hadn't realised just how much I was going to come to rely on them. A lot of rounds I got more kills with pistols and grenades than I did with the sniper rifle. So Jing 90 comes with this horrible chevron scope. I don't know why any of the sniper rifles come with this thing. It's lower magnification than the other version, and the chevrons just make it really hard to line up a shot when you've got to compensate for drop, because you don't have that central line to put over the target. So it was kind of horrible, and I ended up going in for more close range sniping like this, just waiting for somebody to run into my sights, because you didn't have to rely on trying to work out bullet drop over range and trying to line up those chevrons with a tiny figure in the distance. Just, I hate it. Don't know why anybody would snipe with a sight like that. I also had problems with what I assume is the netcode. You can see in this little clip there are several times when bullet traces just go straight through people, and I don't know if it's this server, but people tended to literally leap out of the way of shots, and then I just go for body shots. I ignored trying to headshot with the Jing 90. Between the scope and the problems I seem to be having with the netcode, it's just easier to aim at the centre mass, go for the bigger target. Hope they've been injured before. But I don't know if the Jing 90 is a bad gun, it's just not as good a gun as it was in Battlefield 3. It seems to lack oomph. You know, it's crippled by the scope until you unlock a better one, and it's just seems a bit mediocre. Don't think it's as good as the L96A1, which is far easier to unlock and has a nicer scope. But I soldiered through, basically trying to stay mostly mid-range or close range with it and wait for people to come to me. You can shoot people at long range with it, but as you can see, lining up that massive chevron with a tiny figure in the distance and trying to get them in the middle of it isn't exactly easy. So I was quite happy when I unlocked the 338 Recon, and I thought, yay, get away from the Jing 90, but that's because I hadn't used the 338 Recon and didn't know what its major drawbacks were. So for the Recon, the drawback is the six rounds in a magazine, and It's just awful. And so are bipods. The bipod automatic deployment is just a nightmare. It's like the bipod's just magnetically attracted to anything that's vaguely horizontal. But in that case, it was attaching itself to the side of an almost vertical rock for no apparent reason. So I gave up using long-range scopes with the 338. I went for an ACOG and a laser sight, and I pretty much played close quarters maps and domination modes just to try and get as many kills as I can, so I could just sit back and wait for people to come to me. And it was another gun where the secondary got a lot of use. This time it was the shorty, because I hadn't realised, because I was trying to unlock pistols at the same time, and I hadn't realised that the shorty didn't count as a pistol, it counts as a shotgun. So this is the kind of playstyle I went for with the 338. I would set up. Most people don't pick you out first. Usually you pick out the snipers first because you've got the glint, but because I'd got a green laser sight on there and using an ACOG, I was a bit more inconspicuous. But the magazine size was a real pain. I don't know what the 338's massive advantage is, that it only has a magazine size of 6. Usually that's done to balance out some huge advantage, but I just couldn't see it with the 338. If this thing was a long range killing machine, I could understand it, but it isn't. So another gadget I got quite fond of using was claymores, although I placed this one in the wrong place really. And I should really have my pistol out. I know this guy knows where I am. I know he's reasonably close, and I try hip-shotting him with a rifle, but it doesn't work. But I do get him with a claymore eventually, which would be nice if I'd got him before he killed me. So another thing I tried was being more aggressive as a recon, and I did this particularly with a 338 because I couldn't get used to it at range. And the shorty and the 338 is quite an interesting combination for getting close. So what I do is stay on a point most of the time and try and defend the point. So on here I would stay on B because you've got quite a good field of view of various places from B. And you can still make decent long range shots with the ACOG, even though all these shots are actually slamming into that sloped concrete because it hasn't got the right mapping. But occasionally you get a decent long range shot with a 338. But like I say, I just don't see what the point of this gun is. It just seems to be so limited by its ammo. So here I'm saved by a rock, tank driver rams into, and I get the kill on him with the C4. Did have quite a lot of fun playing with the C4. It's not something I've done a lot before, and it's quite nice. Although a lot of times I ended up dying from my own C4. So I've moved back to the normal rifle scope because this is quite an open map, and yeah, 2-shot kills, that's me with a sniper rifle. And I have to confess that up to this point going through these gun unlocks hadn't been a lot of fun. Then I got the M96B, which is just a long range beast, it really is. I discovered this was quite a popular sniper perch on Resort, so I decided that I would give it a try camping out up here. And I've had to do a bit of editing on this because at various points I was squealing like a little girl with this rifle. It is just fun. It's the old 96A1 is quite fun, you know, it's utilitarian, it's not bad at anything. And here's where the commander steals my sniper shot. Well, the M96B is probably the first rifle where it's just bang, hit them. Very little drop, You can kill things at long range. You can actually be a sniper with this, even if you're, like me, not very good with sniper rifles. And yes, you can be a sniper with the rifles lower down in the order, but you've got to be good with them. The M96B you don't have to be good with. You just have to aim it, and it shoots pretty much where you aim it. So there is some drop on it, but as you can see, this is pretty much halfway across the map, and there's not a lot of drop at all. And if you're going to spell Iron Maiden that badly, you deserve to be shot. So this is when, let's say, I really started having fun with sniper rifles. You don't get many kills, but it allows me to feel comfortable sitting back at a range and taking shots at people, and being confident that I am actually going to be able to kill some people from this range. With the other rifles, I've had to be closer, and even if you're sort of mid-long range, you're still within picking distance of the DMRs and Scar H's and things like that. Out here, you're kind of vulnerable to other snipers, but you can hide and stay relatively concealed. There's only the glint really to give you away. So yeah, this is the first sniper rifle in this list that is kind of fun for me. And I am still a two-shot kill most of the time, which is surprising because, you know, hit this guy who's on the move, but somehow managed not to be able to hit him in the head even though he's half below water. So eventually I unlocked the SRR61, and I unlocked the straight pull bolt for the M96B, and that's the only gun I've unlocked the straight pull bolt for, even though I've gone through and used every gun to unlock every other gun. So there's a reason why every sniper seems to shoot you with an SRR61, and the answer's simple: it's the best sniper rifle in the game. There's no doubt about it. It's good at range, it's good at medium range, it's just the best sniper rifle. Now, it took me a while to get used to it after using the M96B, and I'm still mostly a two-shot kill sniper rather than a one-shot kill, but I had a lot of fun with this rifle. So with most classes you've got arguments for a variety of guns. So in assault rifles, you know, you've got the Ace 23 and the 416, which are really good all-rounders. You've got the Scar H, which is the best at long range. But for sniper rifles, it's just simple. The SRR61 is better than all the other sniper rifles. And it's kind of unbalanced. This gun can do pretty much everything. So I've tried playing it at range, and in this set of clips I'm playing it pretty much close up. We're getting, you know, spawn camped. There's a bunch of guys at the back, as usually happens, trying to just kill us as we come out of spawn. And this gun is just brilliant at this range. It's relatively quick to reload, it's got a decent sized magazine, fires just a straight line with a bullet trajectory. Even at long ranges it's not as good as the M96B, but it's not far off. And you can just run around and have fun with it. You know, it's not a hard gun to use. You know, and at this range, you know, if he'd have seen me, I'd have been dead. But that's the thing with a sniper, is to try and get into the best positions. Look at the mini-map. In Recon, I used the battle map on my second screen more than I have in any other class. And, you know, even if you're a bad sniper like me, 2 shots kills anybody. It's just a shame that in this case I'm having to do all my sniping pretty much at our spawn. So that's unlocking the rifles. I haven't unlocked the FYJS, but that's because you need a lot of headshots to unlock it. You need 50 marksman ribbons, and each one of those is a 250 meter headshot, which for my sniping skills is taking a while. I think I've got about 30, even though I've got all the other requirements I need for the FYJS. So which of these guns are the best? I think the L96A1 beats everything until you get to the M96B, and it's easy to unlock because it's a simple challenge for China Rising. The M96B is the best long range sniper, especially if you've got a battle pack scope for it. I think I've got the 20x Hunter for it now, which I've just unlocked through one of the player appreciation battle packs, and that just makes it wonderful. But the king of all sniper rifles, the SRR-61, is just better than everything else. There's no easy way to explain it. It isn't crippled by a magazine, it comes with a decent scope when you first start, and it just shoots straight lines, and that's pretty much what you need from a sniper rifle. So has unlocking all the sniper rifles been fun? Not really. It's half a mixture of frustration and joy. So you're just sitting there going, why can't I hit anything, with a lot of swearing and then a lot of giggling when you do manage to hit somebody in the head from a mile away. Thanks for watching.